Hello. I know it's been a while, but here I am. It's September 22nd, 2013. For Squarely Army Chief, who supports so many of you all over the world, especially your children. It is season of fall. Hope you're all staying warm. Care about your health out there. Don't let the cold fool you. For those of you here in the United States, just because cold doesn't mean you slack off on being dehydrated. Wrong answer. Drink 9 glasses of water a day, you'll be alright. Notice I said water, not soda pop. Ex-nan soda pop. Drink more water, liquids, iced tea, what have you. Stay hydrated out there. Since your body sweats to keep you warm, you're using water to keep you warm. After all, your body is half, 90% water to keep running. Being in the medical field, I would know that. It's a fact. Let's move right along. Let's turn to the Bible. Talk about what the Catholic Father was talking about a Catholic Mass right here after choir, inspiring many after all at the Soldiers Chapel. For those of you who missed out, don't say I didn't help you, no. You know, some people out there say, oh, my dog ran off with my car keys, I couldn't make it to church. When you have 9 people who were relying on you to help get to church. Or you overslept, or you wanted to be there and couldn't make it. For those of you laying in hospitals, fear not, there is a God. I have God in me, here I am helping you out. That's good. You're reading from the book of the prophet Amos. That's Amos, Amos, 8-4 through 7, 135c. You're reading from the book of the prophet Amos. Hear this, you who trample upon the needy and destroy the poor of the land. When will the new moon be over, you ask, that we may sell our grain, and the Sabbath that we may display the wheat? We will diminish the ephah and have to be shackled. Continuing on. In this our scales for cheating. We will buy the lowly for silver and the poor for a pair of sandals. Even the refuse of the wheat we will sell. The Lord has sworn by the pride of Jacob, never will I forget a thing they have done. The word of the Lord, thanks be to God. Next verse. Topic of discussion. Reading the first letter of St. Paul to Timothy. 1 Timothy 2-1 through 8. Beloved, first of all I ask that supplications, prayers, petitions, and thanksgiving be offered for everyone, for kings and for all in authority, that we may lead a quiet and tranquil life in all devotion of dignity. This is good and pleasing to God our Savior, who will in everyone be saved. And to come to our knowledge of truth, for there is one God, there is one mediator, also one mediator between God and men. The man who gives Christ Jesus gave himself a ransom for all. This was Timothy of the proper time for this. I was appointed preacher and apostle. I am speaking the truth. I am not lying, teacher of the Gentiles in faith and truth. It is my wish then that in every place the men should pray, lifting up holy hands without anger or argument. The word of the Lord, thanks be to God. In the name of the Father, the Son, and the Holy Spirit. Amen. May peace be amongst you wherever you are in the world. After all, most national leaders agree, as most presidents agree, one particular president anyways. Brain cells of extra confirmation. He'd be probably trying to swear me in as the world ambassador. Golly, that would be a great name to add to the resume. Gee whiz, who could that be? I think his name is Obama or something, I can't remember. I try to remember. He's just on Good Morning America once in a while. Yeah, that's it. You know. Of course, I was just kidding. Maybe not. Count the new. There's also another verse I want you to look at. That means a lot to people, most people. That'd be Luke 16 through 18, 16, 18 through 31. Read it, know it, study it. It'll blow your mind. Trust me. Loves to all you out there. Also, on Good Morning America, I was watching what's going on in Syria. There are certain things human beings should have never invented. One is gas in a little canister. Golly, it's the worst thing to let out. It's the worst invention ever. If Einstein, God bless him, was still alive, he'd probably say that we should have never invented chemical warfare. It's just not right. No way, no how, especially in the eyes of a child. God help you if a child gets hold of one of those things and lets it out in front of his or her parents, thinking it's Christmas candy. We all must be accountable for what we have in our arsenal. For some ungodly reason, God help you if that list ever got out of control. There's a submarine sunk. You must be foolish to turn a blind eye thinking that radiation won't leak sooner or later 3,000 feet below an ocean water. That would just help the children population 90 years later, huh? While they're swimming in that ocean. That would be foolish to think that it wouldn't hurt that environment. Most great array presidents would have those submarines out of the water somehow, some way, some new invention unknown. Somehow dragged out of there. Instead of turning a blind eye, turning those nice little submarines not in use into mobile vacations, floating docks, what have you. Something other than nuclear waste, waiting to leak out and hurting the environment. I know the average marine biologist would agree. All you marine biologists out there trying to still clean up the Gulf of Mexico. What a darn mess. It still is. It'll take years just to see that nice little ocean turn blue again. Plenty of sea life. Golly, we all must be responsible for our own actions, especially wildlife. If you see a fire and you're being in a campfire, put it out. Don't leave it there thinking it'll put itself out again in the previous videos. Wildfires are mostly done by human beings. Careless mistakes. Put it completely out with water, dirt, what have you. Don't leave it there, especially if you left it at a campsite site. Save a wild forest. Don't add harm to it. Smokey Bear and the nearest wildlife forest ranger will thank you later. Boy Scouts, today's right here in America, are doing their right fundraising. If you see them at the nearest grocery store on base, the nearest mall, what have you, donate. Keep them going. I know you or somebody used to be a Boy Scout. Heck, square away soldier. Especially myself who donated already. Much dubs. They're selling good cookies. I'm a fan of them mints. Can't go wrong there. Alright, moving right along. Let's turn to what's going on at Fort Campbell. I was looking over this one article at the Eagles Post I read about and talked about after all, freedom is not free, it comes at a price. Eagle Member honors Zimmerman by David Snow, the Eagle Post. The 101st Airborne Division Air Assault held an Eagle Remembrance Ceremony at 4 p.m. September 11th at McVicker Hall in honor of Staff Sgt. Sonny Christopher Zimmerman, 25 of Waynesville, Ohio. Zimmerman died July 15th while on a mounted patrol in Paktiya Province in eastern Afghanistan when his vehicle was struck by a rocket-propelled grenade. Brigadier General Mark R. Stamer, the senior commander of the 101st Airborne Division Air Assault, said that Zimmerman's sacrifice would not be forgotten. Like most soldiers, at just 25 years old, he sacrificed everything for the safety of his fellow soldiers, the spirit of our nation, and the hopes and dreams of people everywhere for a better place to live with their lives. Zimmerman said he truly loved being a leader and took great pleasure and responsibility in training all of his soldiers. Stamer said that Zimmerman was at a transition point in his military career when, in less than a year for his separation date, he had to decide to either deploy with his men or stay back and prepare for the separation from the Army. Knowing the 12-year anniversary of the 9/11 attacks, Stamer said knowing that terrorist threats like those of 9/11 still exist and his men see honor would face those threats in Afghanistan. He chose to go and face those threats with his men and lead them on one last rotation. Stamer said that Zimmerman had planned to separate from the Army, join the National Guard, and return to Lima, Ohio to become a law enforcement officer. God bless you, your family, and those that missed you. Remember what I said about looking up at the stars at night? It's true. You always see people you miss most staring right back at you because you know where they are. Mostly the one place you overlook. right there in your heart. Look hard, trust me. Like that Lion King movie, the Walt Disney movie. Look up, look real hard, and you see those who you love staring right back down at you. Right in them thoughts. From the stargazer myself. Zimmerman was assigned to accompany 1st Battalion, 506th Infantry Regiment, 4th Brigade Combat Team, 101st Airborne Division Air Assault. As an infantry squad leader, he joined the Army in June 2005. Zimmerman's award include the Purple Heart, 3 Army Commendation Medals, 2 Army Achievement Medals, 2 Army Good Conduct Medals, National Defense Service Medal, 3 Afghanistan Campaign Medals, Global War on Terrorism Service Medal, New Non-Commissioned Officer, Professional Development Ribbon, Army Service Ribbon, 3 Overseas Ribbons, NATO Medal, Combat Virtue Badge, and Air Assault Badge. Zimmerman was buried on July 25th in Walnut Hill Cemetery in New Hampshire, Ohio. Zimmerman is survived by his wife, Morgan C. Zimmerman, God bless you, man, of Lima, Ohio, his stepdaughter, Riley A. McVicker of Lima, Ohio, and his parents, Chris L. Zimmerman of Waynefield, Ohio, and Michelle Fischbach of Jennings, Ohio. Fort Campbell holds remembrance ceremonies monthly as needed to honor fallen soldiers deployed in the support of Operation New Dawn and Enduring Freedom. God bless you all serving, for those of all you, those who have served. We watch war movies, not just remember the dead, we honor the dead as much as the living. Black Hawk Down, We Were Soldiers, Red Dawn, John Wayne movies, The Green Beret, I have that one. That's a good movie of mine. Really inspirational. Moving right along. Today's topics of discussion, especially you kids out there. I know I promised a bedtime story. It's in the works, trust me. So give a soldier a serious heartfelt hug. I'll get it to you soon. In the meantime, I'd like you to come up with this one. For all you kids out there, you know Halloween is coming in October. Best time Halloween. What's next? Thanksgiving. What's next after that? My favorite season, Christmas. That's right. The month of Jesus' birth. Halloween Spectacular Saturday, October 5th, 2013, right here at Fort Campbell, 6 p.m. through 9 p.m. Town Center Park. Check it out. For more information, call 270-798-7535. Or go to www.fortcampbellnwr.com. There you go. Also, for those into NFL, who do you think is going to be at the Super Bowl this coming season? Guess I know it's Dallas. So because the coaches know they're ready. If they're not ready, they might as well go crawl in the ladies' restroom somewhere and put a towel over their head. Check out the NFL latest blitz. For you sports fighters like myself. Also, OSV News Weekly, praying for peace. Thousands at the Vatican elsewhere pray for the diplomatic solution complex in Syria, again, the Middle East, and around the world. Now, ain't that an inspirational photo? It just blows your mind how many people are out there. Moving right on. Fort Campbell Courier. One-way ticket to Mars is those of you new to NASA. I explore NASA myself. First Lieutenant applies for a program. Cadet Heidi Beamer conflicts geodata for a Martian shelter project conducted at the Mars Desert Research Station in San Rafael, Swell, Utah, February 2011. Beamer analyzes the rock structure by calculating the orientation and spacing of discontinuous and rock terminations to determine the rock mass rating for a future Martian tunnel that would shelter residents from solar radiation. Beamer, now a first lieutenant in Fort Campbell 63rd Chemical Company, is one of several U.S. service members who applied for the Mars One program, a Netherlands-based nonprofit organization that plans to establish a permanent human settlement on the Red Planet, starting with the launch of the first team of 4 astronauts, April 22nd, 2022. God bless her. That's her right there. Now, I know y'all It's fall season. Don't slack off on your health. Take vitamins. Stay hydrated. Don't let the cold fool you into thinking your body's not gonna sweat while you're trying to keep you warm during the day and night, especially through flood pouring rain. God bless you all. Have a great week. Much love from I to you, especially you kids.